Hey families, this week we are going to talk about nap struggles and what to do when your child just won't nap or they won't nap well. So, when I work with families, I'm always, whether we're talking about overnight sleep or daytime sleep, we've got to look at the daytime stuff first. So, we always want to make sure we are setting our child up for success when it comes to sleep. And that really starts with number one, making sure that they are well fed. We need to make sure that a baby who's less than 12 months old is taking full feedings every 2.5 to 4 hours throughout the day based on their age. And the reason for this is that a good sleeper is a better eater. And a better eater is a better player, and a better player is a better sleeper. And it's really this cycle that builds on one another throughout the day. And if feedings aren't going well, and your baby isn't taking a full feeding, then they're just not going to nap as well. So we always want to look at the feedings and make sure they're getting full feedings all throughout the day for every single wake window. Now, the second half of that is the daytime sleep stuff. So a baby who is overtired is not going to fall asleep easily or stay asleep for very long. And a baby who's undertired is also going to have difficulty falling asleep and staying asleep. So the way that we fix this is we, of course, are going to look at wake windows. Now, I always like to caution parents when we talk about wake windows because every baby is different. And I always like to say that no wake window is created equal, right? So the amount of stimulation or activity that your baby's getting in each wake window varies. And so if your baby has a 3-hour wake window, sometimes they're going to want to go down for a nap a little bit earlier because they've had a really busy wake window. Or sometimes they want to go down a little bit later because you've had a really chill day. So wake windows and timing of naps really work best when you can combine the age appropriate wake window or the clock with their sleepy cues and paying attention to what happened during that wake window. So when you can combine all of that, that usually sets you up for success at nap time. I usually find parents are really hung up on the exact timing of wake windows and making sure it's 3 hours on the dot, which just isn't always helpful. And the same thing for if you're not paying attention to wake windows at all. So you want to really balance both of those things out. The next set of things that I look at is always going to be the nap time environment and the nap time routine. So for a strong nap time environment, you're looking at a baby who is sleeping in a dark room in their crib with white noise playing. So it's free of distractions. The temperature is set to a nice comfortable temperature, like 68 to 70 degrees, and we're not letting light in, and we're just keeping the room really conducive to falling asleep and staying asleep. Now, the second part of that is the nap time routine. Now, sometimes this can get pushed aside because you're really busy, but if sleep is a struggle, I really encourage you to focus on establishing a nap routine. A nap time routine can really be crucial because it's signaling to your baby or toddler's brain that sleep is coming. So they're preparing for it. And on top of that, it's giving them time to wind down and separate from whatever busy stuff was happening throughout their wake window. So we want to give them proper wind down time, time to prepare for sleep. So for a really young baby, it might only be like 5 minutes. But for an older baby, they might need 15 or 20 minutes, or especially for a toddler or preschooler. So make sure the nap time environment is set up for success as well as a nap time routine. Now, once the foundation has been set, the next crucial step is to make sure that your baby is falling asleep independently at the start of nap time, especially if naps are a struggle. The reason for this is really that if you're assisting your baby to sleep at the start of nap time, a lot of times they're waking up upon transfer to their sleep space. And if they're not, if the transfer goes well, they're usually waking up halfway through their nap crying. And that's because they're coming to the top of a sleep cycle. and they're waking up a little bit and they don't know how else to get themselves back to sleep. So they're going to call out for whatever it was that got them to sleep in the first place, which more than likely involved you. And so that's why they're waking up at that 30-minute mark. And the best way to take care of that is to just teach them to fall asleep independently at the start of nap time. It's truly where the magic happens. Now, let's say that your child has mastered putting themselves to sleep independently at the start of nap, but they're still waking up at that 30-minute mark. This is when I would encourage you to start implementing a crib hour. So mid-nap sleep cycle connections really take practice. And if your baby's waking up at the 30-minute mark and you're constantly rushing in there and helping extend their nap, then they're not getting the time to practice making that connection mid-nap. Now, if you're also just getting them up at the 30-minute mark because they're awake and they're crying, they're also not being allowed time to practice connecting those sleep cycles. So the best way to do this is to give them time to practice getting themselves back to sleep. And if after 20 minutes they can't get themselves back to sleep, then get them up, start your next wake window, and you can try again for next nap. Now, if you need help coming up with a plan for how to teach your child to fall asleep independently at the start of nap time, I can absolutely help you with that. There are lots of different ways to work on falling asleep independently, and I provide a variety of methods for parents based on their parenting style and their child's temperament. So if you would like help making nap time one of the best parts of your day, then definitely reach out and I'm happy to chat with you. Have a good week, everyone.